ladies. I was actually finishing up one of the cards that I need to do for Drissa, and I realized I was working with clear stamps and you guys wanted a little bit of tutorial on it anyway. I just finished doing these stamped flowers, and I'm actually going to do the same thing on the other side, so we're just going to go ahead and jump right into it. I have this Stamp Perfect, but you can use a Misty or whatever else. And you don't have to use this. I'm using it because it helps keep the paper in the same spot and it helps put the stamp exactly where I want it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my clear stamps, and I'm going to, you would put them image down so you know where you want them to be, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to flip them around so the flat part is down. Sorry ladies, I have a frog in my throat apparently. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and put them down where we want them. And I'm going to use, as a flower, I'm using the flat side as a background color like I did over here. So we're going to go ahead and put these, you know, about right where we want them. And I'm going to put this one a little bit more in the corner because I'm going to put a 2 in the from, you know, so she can see it. And I want this really close to the edge and this one right next to it. These are just regular clear stamps. These are actually from the Dollar Tree. So you can use any ones that you have, do it any way you want to. I'm just showing you what I'm doing. And I'm going to I'm using distressed ink, and I'm going to put that all over the big fat one, the pink color here that I have, which is actually called, maybe it tells you on the front. Yes, it does. So this is what I'm using for the background ink of the big flower. Like I said, I'm going to put that all over, all over. And I'm not too worried about if it's blotchy or not, for the simple fact is I want it to look that way. If you don't want it to be so blotchy, use a different ink, one that will make a more solid color. Tim Holtz made his distress inks to be blotchy, to make it look distressed. And this is the one I'm using for the other one, the smaller flower. And I'm just gonna put it on there all over, let it do its own little thing. I put extra pink on there because it is a little bit lighter than the green. And my pink is not nearly as wet as the green. But if it's still not exactly what you want, you can always restamp it. And I'm just gonna push it in there, make sure it gets on there really good. And I'm actually going to now I'm gonna wipe it off. I use a baby wipe to wipe mine off. And I'm gonna move this one to where I want it over here, which is about right there. And I'm gonna keep that other big one there so I can stamp it again to make it just a little bit darker. Squeak, squeak, squeak. And once again, I'm going to use that green color on the smaller one. And this one is much wetter than my pink one. And stamp it. And because we use this tool, which is the same thing as a Misty or whatever, that flower never moves. So it's going to stamp in the exact same spot. Whoop. And there we go. And I'm going to go ahead and wipe those off. Make sure there's no colored ink on them. And now we're going to put them down flat. So that way when we stamp, it stamps the flower. And we're just going to go ahead and figure out exactly where we want those. And with the flower being symmetrical, it lines up perfectly. And that's how you can get a background color image. And then I'm going to go ahead and use my Memento ink in the Tuxedo Black. I failed that, guys. I was thinking way too much. Okay, let's do that again. So now, we are going to put the image, the bumpy side down. Oh, getting ahead of myself, guys, sorry. So you put the image, the bumpy side down, so the flat surface is what's sticking up. Not whatever I just said, because, yeah. I was already in the rhythm of doing it upside down. And then you're gonna take the tuxedo black or whatever black you may have and ink those up really nicely. It's kind of hard since it moves. Whoa. I'm gonna make sure it's nice and whoops on there. And then we're gonna go ahead and just put it down. And then we're just gonna take this one off. We don't need that one again, even though it didn't stamp perfectly. I'm not worried about it. I want it to look a little, you know, vintagey, if that's a word. And we're gonna wipe this one off just to make sure we don't get any extra lines when we're laying it down. So I'm gonna line that up how we like it. And yep, there, looks good. Okay, and then we're gonna pick it up and do the same thing with the tuxedo black. I wish I had a little bit more viewing area for you ladies. And that looks all inked up nicely, and then we lay it down and I push on it really good just to make sure it makes contact, even though I know it does. And there we go. And that's how you stamp with the clear stamps. If you don't have one of these, you can use a cling block. I have a few. All it is acrylic, just acrylic plastic. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe that off. That way we don't get ink on anything else if there's any extra. Cover my inks up. Yeah, go ahead and put this one away. This one away because now we're done. And I'll put this off to the side and I'll show you guys. And this is what we have. So I'll put the to her and then from me right here. You can make this as big or as small as you want. This is just for the card that I made, which is this card. Spread your wings and fly. And then I have some fun things there. And then it just says, friends are those people who know the words to the song in your heart and sing it back to you when you have forgotten the words. Just a cute little card. I plan on putting it all together. That's how we use cling stamps, guys. They usually come in like that. Like I said, this one's from the Dollar Tree, so it came like this, and it always shows you like what exactly it is that you're looking at, and you put the flower on there, you know, flat side, and then you'll feel the bumpy side this way. You can do all kinds of things with this. You could even make a stamp this and then cut it out on like a sticky note and then place it over this one after it's already stamped, and then you can stamp a flower directly on it, or I mean a leaf directly on it, and the leaf will look like it's part of the flower instead of like sticking on the flower. Maybe I'll do a more detailed tutorial about that, but I thought this was a good way to show you guys a little extra to do with your stamps. Like I said, as far as like doing a background color. So, you could, like I said, you can use this with any stamps that you may have. You don't have to use clear stamps for this. You could use regular rubber stamps if they're not attached to a block. That way you could do the double thing. But, you know, block stamps are pretty much the same thing as these cling ones. They all work the same way. And it all depends on, like the clear ones, you just put on their own block. I have some blocks here like this. You just put it on this block and it's removable, whereas hard ones are already on a block. That's really the only difference. And these ones, you can see exactly where you're placing it and stuff like that. So this is just a little tutorial. Now that I made this, I think I might actually go into a more deeper tutorial and actually show you guys, you know, cling stamps versus rubber stamps and stuff like that. If you guys liked that video, let me know in the comments below. And remember, check me out on Snapchat, Mandie's Place on Facebook, Pass on Facebook, for all your crafty needs. So if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for stopping at Mandie's Place.